New 72 Radio, the voice, views, and visions of the collective.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Talk Time with Debby and Theresa. This is our first time live on Facebook, so we're actually pretty excited. And again, we're technically challenged, so please bear with us. We've been doing a radio blog with New 72 Radio, and it's been out on YouTube for oh my gosh, 6 or 7 months now. And so this is really kind of a treat to do it live on Facebook.
Right. And this will be out there also on YouTube for those that miss it.
Yeah, so it'll be awesome. We're starting a new series, and the purpose of this series, and we've titled it, There Is Life After. The purpose of this series is to offer women of all ages an opportunity to look at their life objectively. It's also an opportunity for them to be encouraged to make life changes and decisions for themselves and to better their own lives and make their personal goals and dreams possible. We know that life happens and bad things happen to good people. And when you get middle-aged, or a little bit older, and sometimes you can look around at your life and it's not all rosy and everything that you planned it to be. But with a little encouragement, you can start over. You can make your dreams happen. So what we're doing is we are having guest speakers, women who are successful and our age category, and successful and promising and courageous and absolutely amazing women. And so today we're going to start with Kianna Leighland. Now, Kianna, I met Kianna when I took some classes. Hi, Kianna. Kianna is probably one of the most amazing teachers that I've ever had the privilege of taking classes and learning from. She's an accomplished and self-made businesswoman. She decided to change careers in 1988 to a career that better suited her personality, if you can believe it. I think that's incredible. I just think that's amazing. And so she went to school and she became a licensed massage therapist. And then that began her career in the healthcare field. And she also started the first Washington State approved reflexology school. And she's actually taught all over the world. Absolutely incredible. In 1997, Kianna was introduced to Young Living essential oils, which she also includes in a pet reflexology class in her work. And she hasn't looked back. Welcome, Kianna.
Hi, Kianna.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I also, I've met Kianna 2 years ago, but years and years ago, 97 to be exact. And one of our biggest questions, of course, is at what point in your life did you feel it was necessary to start making those changes? What led you to decide you needed to change?
Back when I had my job and went into the wellness field, or
Yes.
prior to that?
Well, prior to that.
Yeah, prior to that, give us some history.
How far back? I was.
However far you feel comfortable with.
I can go real.
We don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah. I was not one of those who knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. Absolutely had no clue whatsoever. I decided that I had to leave home at 15. So that's the first time my life path changed. And then I decided after graduating that I wanted a child. honestly, without the man. And so that was another life path change, being a single parent. And then from there, I decided I didn't want to be on welfare. So I chose to get a job, and I was hunting for the perfect job, which was the first one I went to look at, and that's working in telephony. For those who don't know what that is, that's telephones. And I became assistant secretary. And from there, I decided to start moving up, because I was told at a very young age that I would never amount to anything. And I believed that. And I finally decided one day that I can do anything. I had to do something. That's what it was. I had to do something to support my child and myself, because of the choices I had made to be a single parent. And I think that's when my life started changing, was at that moment. I no longer believed the things I had been hearing, or at least I had to work my way out of it. And so with my first job, I kept going back because they didn't have a job for me. It was a big corporation. I thought there's got to be something in there that they can let me do. And after the 6th time, they called me when I got back home and said, show up Monday, we're going to find you work. Anybody coming back like this, we're going to find you work. And within 2 years of being there, I rose to the top, to the highest pay, from $2.11 an hour. I had a car and I couldn't even drive it because gas was 25 cents an hour.
Yeah, I remember those days.
That's so right.
So I decided I wanted to make as much as the men made. And so that meant I had to go through many levels. So from $2.11 an hour to $16.75 was the highest paying job back then. I did that in 2 years' time. So I knew then I could do something. And the next life change for me was when after 15 years of working in that company, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a Sunday school teacher, and I had a lot of faith. And I went down to say goodbye to my boss after my midnight shift. I walked in to shake his hand and say, hi, what you doing? And what came out of my mouth was, I quit. And I was just as shocked as he was. I decided to, he said, well,
Oh, no.
you might as well leave now. And I go, okay, goodbye. Because I was working in a man's world, and they figured a man should be there. I was the only woman in that field at the time. And
Wow.
so I went out to my car. Like I said, I was a Sunday school teacher. So I buckled Jesus in and I said, okay, where are we going? And next thing I knew, I stopped at a school. I walked in. I picked up a brochure, didn't look at it, walked out, went home, opened it up, and called. And it was the massage school. I had no clue that's where I was heading. I absolutely had no idea. I was a very introverted person. I didn't know how to talk to people. But I went ahead and had the faith and went ahead and did the school. Ended up being a teacher for some of the students to help them. Didn't know I could teach. So that opened up my eyes. And then I started doing homeschooling for my children. So there's so many different paths that just happened. And I followed them. I think back then, even though I think I was closed-minded, I actually was opening up to everything around me and realizing that I was somebody and that I was worthy. So that's kind of that part of it. I had other ones, but I don't know where you want me to go, because after the school, I graduated in 1988. And, by 1999, I had my first school. But in between there, I had to stop and be a board member of the Washington Board government-appointed position on massage therapy to look at schools, which gave me a lot of insight of how to run what they were looking for to have a state-approved school. And then I joined the RAW as a treasurer. RAW is Reflexology Association of America. Since then, I've been on 4 other boards, so I like doing that. My life changes, and I just go with it. I found that when I fight it, then things don't work out as easy. So I love what I do today. I teach when I want to teach. I just made up my calendar last night. A lot of people have received it. I'm making myself really busy this year, so I can start closing up things. This is the year for me to downsize get rid of old files from 1995 up, get rid of everything. I just want to just drop anything that doesn't give me love and fun. So did I answer that?
I think that's awesome. You did.
You did.
You did. And most of the others on the list.
Which is true.
Which is fine. That's all good.
Well, I kind of wanted to talk about the reflexology school. You were at a reflexology school for a while, and then you had quite a few students come through it.
Yes.
Do you hear back from your students? Did they come back for support, or did they come back for more classes so that they can keep up, with all the new trends, or how does that work with your new students? Because my experience with you is that you're incredibly supportive. You like to see other people move ahead to their most highest, and so I can see other students coming back and talking to you and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool.
All right.
Some call me, some thank me, because back when I had my school, I was very rough. I'm going to say it. I was rough. I wanted everyone to be perfect because I'm a Virgo, and I've learned not to be perfect now. It's okay. But I needed them to be the best student, and I've had some come back and call me and say, I used to think that you were really rough teaching us, but, I go to these classes and I know more than they know, but I didn't do a 200-hour class. My school was a 600-hour class because I do want people to be at the top of their field. And I have other people that receive from them that are clients that have come back to me too, just when they stop in town and tell me they can tell the people that I've trained. And that makes me feel good, because I want people to be good at what they do. So yeah, and some come back to classes.
Yeah,
Some
that's pretty.
Some don't.
Because I know you have a lot of really good classes. Pardon me?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was wondering how the pet reflexology worked in there, because you start with doing massage therapy, and I thought it was real cute, your story about how you got into doing the essential oils. I thought that was a pretty cute story.
So
can you share that with us?
Is it reflexology or the essential oils? They're totally two different things.
Start with the essential oils and then do and then tell us about the pet reflexology. I'm actually interested in taking a class from you on the pet reflexology.
Okay. Essential oils. I was working on one of my clients, and he would never let me use my oils, and I made my own and blended my own. I got them from the health food store, and he would always make me use his. So I would do it reluctantly. I never said anything. I just kept everything to myself on how I felt about that. And one day he gave me a kit of oils, and he said, why don't you take these and go work on your clients and compare the two. Okay, sure. For 6 months, he asked me, have you used them? Do you see a difference? I go, nope, haven't used them. So this went on for 6 months. He was very nice about it. And finally I said, if I use these on my clients, just your oils, not mine, will you stop asking me? And he said, yeah. So I went ahead and used those oils, and they took about 30 days to use up. And then I went back to my oils. I immediately saw a difference. They were gritty in my hand, and the smell was giving me headaches. But I didn't say anything. My clients started telling me they were getting headaches, and would I please go back to what I was using? And I said, well, this is what I've used on you for 13 years. And they said, no, I like that other stuff. And so that changed my path right there. And I wanted to know why. Why was it feeling gritty? Why was I getting headaches? So, of course, back then, Gary Young was teaching chemistry. And I went to the chemistry classes, and we would get a pile. It was about 3 to 4 inches thick of papers. We didn't have computers working back then, or at least not home computers. Businesses had them. And so I learned a lot of this stuff. And over the years, the chemistry books and CARE program, I've done those classes. I see the difference. I can feel the difference. And I love what I do with my oils now. It's the backbone of my business.
Right. I like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both Teresa and I are downlines of
Of
Kianna's. We like her oils very much as well. So how do you work them with pets? I noticed that you do pet reflexology and use the
Yes.
oils on
The pets. Actually, Kianna has a wonderful story as to how she started pet reflexology. And where did you travel even to teach it? Can you tell us some about your pet reflexology?
So first of all, there was a lovely, lovely dog that came into my life. His name was Skeeter in 1992. And he was very ill. I didn't know about puppy mills back then. And I took this dog, and he couldn't walk very well. He seemed like, and he was always shaking his head. So I took him to the doctor, and they said that he was going to die, and not to get too attached. If he had a couple months, I'd be lucky. And he had a lot of things wrong with him. So I cried. I was already in love with him on the second day, of course. And he taught me a lot. That makes me want to cry now. I started working on his pads of his feet because I knew reflexology. I've been doing reflexology actually since 1969. I became a professional in 1995, I think it was. And I thought, well, all I know is massage. I don't know how to massage a dog, so I will do his feet. I had access to him. And about 2 months later, I took him back for a checkup with the doctor because they said it only lasts maybe 2 months. And he was doing really, really, really good. So they told me to keep doing what I was doing. And he was able to have this surgery that he absolutely had to have. And they were able to do it because his heart was strong enough now to do this surgery. And I was applying oils to the medium aspect of the paws, all the paws. So I chose things like, Valor and Digest, because he had digestive issues really bad. Melrose around the ears for the mites. He had mites really bad. And he had to have his teeth were horrible. But you know what? He trusted me, and he lived another 9 years. And after he passed,
wow.
I feel in my heart, he came back to me and told me that I couldn't just let this go, that I needed to make a DVD about it. And so I have a DVD on pet reflexology, and I have the pet charts, which he guided me to, knowing humans, and then what happened to him. I mapped the feet as when he was alive of where I felt that I found the points on him. So that's my story on how I got started on pet reflexology. It was after his death. His name is Skeeter. So where have I taught it? Well, my first time abroad, I was asked to speak at a conference in Australia on pet reflexology. That was my very first time getting in front of people, 200 or more people, and speaking, and called an expert in my field. It's like, me, an expert? That's when I knew I still had some big issues that I needed to work on myself. And I do feel now today I am an expert at reflexology. I've been doing it a long time. And I love working on animals. They come in bunches. So that after that, I was asked to go to South Africa and teach. And I taught there for years, off and on, like at least twice a year for about 6 years. I went there and taught. And then I was asked during that time too to teach in Scotland, England, all throughout England, down in Wales and Ireland. I think, and Brazil. I also taught pet reflexology in Brazil too. And then I have taught a little bit of reflexology on the East Coast of the United States, in Maine and Rhode Island, and down in Alabama. They've asked me years ago to do that. And I haven't taught it here where I live on the Pacific coast, up maybe 2 years, I think it's been, maybe longer. Maybe 5 years ago was the last time I did. And I've been asked again to do it. I've been asked again, and so I've added to my schedule. I don't even remember when it is. I don't have my schedule in front of me, so I can't say when it is. It was this year. Everything's on my calendar, so I don't know how to say that, but my email address is no, I'm sorry, my website is petreflexology.net. And you can go on that calendar, it'll tell you when the classes are up, because that's now completed.
Oh, that's good.
So I know that you have a new interest, a new passion that is being developed. Can you tell us a little bit about your newest passion with what's going on in your life right now?
Well, I found out that my cancer came back, and I said, oh, what is causing this? So my new passion is radiation coming off of the wireless equipment we have in and around our home. One of them is a smart meter, which happens to be in my bedroom on the outside. And I found that by putting a guard on that, it doesn't stop it from working, but it saves my cells from shriveling up like raisins. And so, and that's what happens with the radiation. It destroys your cells. And then the next cell that comes looks like the one that just died is all shriveled up. So it will slow down the aging process too, not being around all that radiation. And I'm looking up here because this is where my Wi-Fi is, and I put protection on it. So I no longer feel like I'm being bombarded by it. And I wear protection around my neck. I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's like learning about petrochemicals, in our food and in our oils. I became passionate on that, and now my passion is still there. I still educate on petrochemicals and what happens to our body when we allow those shampoos and lotions that are full of guck get on our skin and body. But now with this radiation, I don't think anyone's thought about, that Wi-Fi, if it works throughout your house, that means you're being bombarded in every area of your house every time you walk through your house. And they say it's safe. It's not safe. There's too many kids out there having cancers and brain tumors. That's my biggest concern is children. I do care about adults, but they are defenseless. And I think the parents should be putting protection on all their Wi-Fi and anything that radiates, electricity, anything that's plugged in needs protection on it for us and our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I'm a great-grandmother.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What kind of protection?
They're guards. They're I don't have one handy. I'd have to leave to go get one. They're little guards, and like the smart meter, it's a mesh. It covers the whole thing. And then on the wall side, where it's still permeating 35 feet into your home, or 30 feet into your home, there's another mesh, a special mesh that stops it from coming in. Not the electricity, not the signals, but the damage the signals can cause to our cells. Does that make sense? If you could,
so it blocks like the radiation.
Just the radiation that's coming from the unit, like your Wi-Fi. It covers it with an umbrella so it can work, but
Interesting.
That's also
Interesting. No, I hadn't heard of it before.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it either. Someone told me 10 years ago about EMF, EMR, that's electrical, what's that other word? Not mechanical, but magnetic. Radiation.
Magnetic.
And I didn't understand what they were talking about, so I didn't listen until I got ill. And since I put those guards on, I get up at 5 o'clock now. I have so much energy. I used to drag myself out of bed. Now I'm up. It's like, okay, what do I got to do today? And I love this feeling because I'm back. I feel like I just feel awesome. I feel great. So it's now I'm educating, and for those who live in this area, I do have a class on the 27th at 7 p.m. Of this month. So I'm trying to have a class every 2 to 3 weeks. Another class.
If someone wanted to get the information, would they go to your website, Pet Reflexology, and find the information there, or do you have another website where that information is available?
If they go to petreflexology.net, there's tabs there, and they would go up to the GIA tab for the radiation information and the videos that show the science behind it, the truth about illness, and it's a book. It says Truth About Cancer. It's a book, but they have it on video with the doctor that has invented this, and it was all brought about by, if I say it correctly, back in Russia where that big explosion was, Chernobyl. Is that how you say it?
Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chernobyl. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, here we are.
So how, there we are.
This is my
There's your website.
Yes, Geo Wellness. And when you open that up, it does go into the videos. And then you can,
Okay, good.
these are the cell guards. Yeah.
And the oils will lead you to your oils also.
Yes,
There's one of the
those are underneath oils. This first video you see here, that's the science, Dr. Smirnov. And then there's a little cartoons to tell you, to educate you more about how this protection works, so people can get educated on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really interesting. I had not heard about it. How did you find out about it and about the radiation affected your body? What brought that information to you?
Well, I was trying to find out why I wasn't getting better, and I just put it out there, you know, through prayer and meditation, and I was led to an expo, a small one, and enjoyed my day. I was getting ready to leave, and I heard some kids singing. So I thought, oh, I'm going to go back and take a look, and I just walked a few feet up, but it was far enough, you know, my angels and guides work with me very well. It was far enough up that I saw a friend off to my right. And so I know it was not my doing get me back in that room. And there my friend was, and I went over, and he's with essential oils too. I went over to see how he was doing, and here he had this table of all these things that you saw on my page. And I asked him what they were about. What it really was this necklace. See this necklace? This, I loved it. Like, what is that? I want that. And he educated me on radiation, and I go, no. That stuff's supposed to be safe. The microwave is the bad thing, not my refrigerator, not my stove, not my toaster, not my TV, not my cell phone, definitely. Did you know that if you read the instructions on the cell phone, it says do not place near or by your body? How many people read that? I didn't read that. I didn't know. It may cause cancer. And I go, oh my God, how many people don't know that? I didn't know it. And so that got me, you know me, if I find out something that's hurting people, I want to educate them and tell them about it. And they can make their own choices of what they do or where to get their product from or whatever. They don't have to come to me, but I still want people to know. And so I do have them available if they do want. So that's my new path. I just added see, like I said, I don't want to be when I grow up. I just want to be the helper of all, the best I can be. Yeah.
Because you used that same theory when you did the essential oils.
Yeah.
Because you've had several illnesses and situations that have developed, and every time there's something new come up,
And
it seems.
I'm led to it. If I'm not getting
Right.
it, there's got to be a reason. So what can I do to make myself better besides food? I got my blood tested, and I do that every year so I can see how my body is functioning, because I'm getting older, being a great grandmother and all. I want to grow gracefully. I want to start like right now. I am better than I was, but my blood test came back, and the doctor talked to me about it, and she's excited. She said, do whatever it is you're doing. And I'm thinking, well, I started eating meat. That's not supposed to happen. My cholesterol went down. And meat, when I say meat, it means turkey or fish. And I haven't eaten fish for ages, instead of just vegetables. And they say variety. Now, I'm not trying to go against what people do, but I ate turkey burgers and peas for months. And my cholesterol went down. That's supposed to not happen, In fact, I went back to my whey shakes and all my vegetables and fruits before the blood test, 2 weeks, and not that I think 2 weeks did the difference. And they told me everything that I needed to work on, my blood sugar, everything was perfect. They're so excited, and that makes me excited. But what did I do? It wasn't the food. So I think in my heart, it is the protection and the eye water that I now take. I believe that's a big part of it. I can remember things better. I don't get so, leaving the room and forgetting what I'm doing. I do that still a little bit, but not like it used to be. There's nothing worse than driving down the road and not having a clue where you're headed. That's a really hard thing. So I have to, I used to have to stop the car, because a lot of people out there don't know I've had a massive stroke when I was 48. I had head trauma when I was 2005, July 2005, head trauma again, July 2007, another head trauma, July, see, there's a pattern, right? 2009. Think they're trying to tell me something? I needed to get out of that Virgo left brain. I had to get into my right brain. And that's when my life really changed.
So they were trying to knock you into your other brain.
They told me to stop being so anal and stop analyzing everything.
And that was too when you did sell about your reflexology college or school, and then you really went gung-ho with Young Living and some big changes in your life.
Yeah, I think being able to travel and educate people and to help them to get better, to be better. Because they still don't know why my stroke doesn't look like I had a stroke. I mean, about the only reason you can tell is when I cross my eyes, one doesn't cross. And as far as I haven't really been ill. I mean, like some people get colds and coughs. And I think one time, because I said to myself, I wonder which oil would help these people when they have a cold. Is it just thieves, or can oregano be used? Well, that very night I got the flu. So I could test it. And I had the flu for 11 hours. I was able to get rid of it in 11 hours. And so I tell people when they have the flu, I can help you. I'll tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. So those are the only reasons things happen to me.
So that you can learn, so that you can teach others.
Others, yes, absolutely. And they don't have to do it perfect either.
If you were talking...
Pardon?
Yeah, that's good.
So if you were giving information or trying to advise a young woman or a middle-aged woman who's, kids have flown the coop and they're kind of just wondering what to do, what would you tell them to look for to make those changes or choices?
Okay, now
it's kind of left field. I didn't ask her this before.
Okay,
what would you advise someone?
About what? I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry.
On how to recognize a change coming in their lives. How would somebody, if somebody just kind of wanted to know what to look for or how to listen, how do you feel that can be done by someone else?
I think that for me, when I tried to fight it, let's say when I said I quit, if I would have changed that around, I could have missed the opportunity of moving on. So listen to what you're saying to yourself or to other people. And if it sounds corny, you head that corny way. Just have faith and trust. It's like when I left home at 15, I said, you know what? I don't have anywhere to live, but I can't live like this, and walk away from it. If your brain is saying, or your heart's saying, stop doing what I'm doing and move forward, just have faith that whatever you're moving towards, even if you don't, I didn't know what I was moving towards any of these. It just happened. Is to open your eyes to the synchronicity. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, I have something that might help you, listen. That might be the door you're supposed to open. You can close it, it's still your choice. But I'm glad I've opened the doors I have. On the radiation thing, it was open to me 10 years ago, and I didn't see that because I thought I knew it. So I could have helped people at the same time with the essential oils as a radiation, but I had to go through all this other garbage. So I took the hard way. If I would have been listening, I would have opened that door. Does that make sense?
It does.
It does. It does.
I can argue about it.
I think some. Yeah. I think sometimes when you're enmeshed in a life situation or habits or a lifestyle, and it's the known, and sometimes even if you're not comfortable there or if it's not yours, I think sometimes it's really difficult to make that change or to see beyond that there is something out there.
I think
So
I change the
basically,
environment around me and the friends around me to see if I'm supposed to step into that other door. I do that. I have changed. I still have my old friends, but like last night, I went and met a bunch of new people. I don't know why. I know there's a reason. So I can walk either through that door or another door that's opening. So I like to tell people, step out your comfort zone. Put 2 feet around you and then literally take your one leg, not both at the same time unless you're good, and walk out of that, step out of that and feel how you feel. You know, literally. Teresa knows what I'm talking about. I've had you do that before. Just step out of your
Right.
You're not going to see if you're standing.
Right. Being in a comfort zone, it's just not growing necessarily. And it is, and yes, I agree.
yeah,
Kianna said,
You feel that?
yeah, it's hard to do. It's really difficult to do.
It is hard to do, but that's that's my opinion, and that's what I give you. Because when I feel too comfortable, I know my path is not going anywhere. So I have to step out of that comfort zone to move forward and whatever.
right.
And I always get surprised.
I think that's good. Is there anything on your bucket list that you haven't done?
Yeah. I want to travel to Peru. I want to see all the areas that I studied in my doctrine. That would be fun. If I say them right, if I say them wrong, oh well, who cares, right? Mitsubishi or whatever, Lake Titicaca. I want to see all those things.
Yeah.
I want to see the Grand Canyon. I have not seen a lot of the United States. I have seen more of the outside country than the inside. So I would like to see Jackson Hole is on my list. I just made a list last week. Did I tell you that? You just seem to know. Okay.
No.
Jackson Hole is on it. And Grand Canyon, Peru. I want to go back to South Africa. I love South Africa. I have friends over there, so that's fun when you've made friends around the world that you can stay with. So I think right now that's on my bucket list. Oh, maybe getting into a relationship someday. Besides with, loving. I've learned to love myself. Now I'm ready to have a relationship. I think I could handle it now. I wait till the kids are grown and having kids,
Well, if they're all grown, then you don't have to worry about them anyway, right?
No, but I'm talking about a relationship for me. So get in an RV and travel. That would be fun.
Right.
Oh, that would be fun.
And she has talked about that often. You mentioned you have a doctorate. Can you talk a little bit about the doctorate that you have? Because I know that you worked hard at that. I
did work hard. It took me 10 years. About the time I finished with all the studies, got everything, I had a 3.96. Maybe it was a 4 point, I can't remember. Shortly after that, I had my last head trauma. And what I found with that last head trauma, I'm unable to do research. I'm not able to retain it, at least at this time, and that's been almost 7 years now. So I never got to finish my dissertation. So I'm missing a dissertation to get my PhD on parapsychic sciences, yes. And so I've done a lot of studying in parapsychic sciences, and I've enjoyed every moment. And
a lot of it was
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
A lot from South America. I said a lot of that was involving South America and Egypt, if I remember right.
I didn't go to Egypt. I
the studies.
No. I did it through.
Your study.
I did it through the Alabama University.
You studied those South America. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we've got our questions finished, but we're not quite through for the hour. We might have a short show today.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have anything else outstanding that we may have missed, or anything you would like to recap?
Well, I like to say this today because I'm being told I need to do that. I am a very awesome person, and I have very awesome people in my life, such as you wonderful ladies. I'm very thankful for being alive, and I just hope that that I touch at least one person's heart. Most of all, I've learned I need to touch my heart, and so that they can touch other people's heart and pay it forward. And just remember being kind and generous. And if you get angry, be quiet. Remember, count to 10. I always wondered why they had us count to 10. Do it, and just really think, what are you truly upset about? It's usually not what you're thinking that's coming out of your mouth. It's usually something totally different. So I think then we need to just be, so we don't hurt other people's feelings. And so I hope that, I just think less anger in the world would be nice.
Well,
So thank you.
yeah, it sure would. Well, I'll tell you. Well, Kianna, I want to thank you. We think you're awesome too. We really do.
Yes.
And we love spending time with you. We love taking your classes. Seriously, we love you. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you. And we really appreciate you coming on the show. And because it's our first live one.
yeah, our first live one. So I guess we're all in this together this time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Misery
it.
loves company.
So we will talk again, and I'll see you later.
Okay. Thank you, girls.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. So we do have a little bit of time, and I was thinking that maybe we could kind of talk about Ancient Mystic Moon. We're doing our Sample Tuesday. We've renamed it, haven't we? For again.
Yeah.
In fact, you will see Sample Tuesday listed in Craigslist events. We're offering 20-minute sessions for $20 of samples, reflexology, Reiki,
Rune readings.
Clairvoyant readings. And it's just a great time to, if nothing else, come in, have a cup of tea with us. We're not coffee drinkers, but we probably could find some coffee somewhere.
I think I have coffee.
But yeah.
I'm a coffee drinker.
but we are open. It'll be from 12:30 to 3:30. Was that what we said?
1:30 to 3:30.
1:30 to 3:30. So we're here. Great place to stop by and just warm up on these rainy, cold days.
Yeah, at least it's warm in here, I'll tell you that. And if you would rather have a full session, we're available to do full sessions. You just need to give us a call, and we'll be happy to make that appointment for you. We love to see you come in. We love to chat with you. We love to have tea with you. We love to work with you. And if we can be of help at all, and we love to do that too, because that's really our mission here, is to help people, to help people find themselves, to help people find their path, maybe find some answers to questions. We do a lot of actual counseling. Teresa's a medium, and so she does a lot of counseling that way.
Through
spirit, through channels, And I do
past life regression.
I do past life regressions, and I can't do that in a mini session because
it takes a lot to get.
Yeah, that's a little more in depth. But if you'd like to try one, once in a while we do a gallery read here where you can kind of experience, how it's going to work for you. And we like to have about 6 people at least in the class to do a gallery read, and then it's $20 a head as well.
Right.
So we'll probably have one of those coming up probably in May. Maybe a little closer to Mother's Day, we were thinking we'd maybe do that.
Right.
And we want to do a gallery read here
A
for
clairvoyant
Theresa
one, yes,
as well.
Yes. So, like I said, I think we're going to have a short day today, which is kind of amazing. We actually spent 45 minutes getting the technical fix, even to be on the air today.
Yeah.
We're
Thank God
slightly.
for Kelly Lair and New 72 Media. I'm telling you, Kelly is probably one of the most amazing women I've ever seen in my life. She has patience, and she is so technically savvy, and she's particularly with Theresa and I've never in my life met anybody who has been so good and so helpful and so loving. And you know, if I were her, I swear I would smack both of us up alongside our head with the 2x4.
It is, yeah. She laughs through our challenges.
Yes, she has the portal of awareness, and you should, if you're interested, check out her website. It's New 72 Media, and she's got a portal of awareness that she has on, and she has
Sunday mornings.
Sunday mornings. Yes, it's awesome.
So,
and she has other radio programs that she has out there, that she has other clients, and she's just a very, very busy lady. But thank you, Kelly. We love you.
thank you. So we'll say good night today, and
See you next month.
see you next month. Always on the third Thursday of the month, we will be having radio shows. We will have another session of There Is Life After. We've got a list of 3 ladies of which we've not communicated with yet, so we'll be figuring out who you'll be talking to next.
So thank you again. Have a good day.